Hello everyone, my name is Marina. Welcome to arhi.teach channel. Today I'm going to show you a simple lesson for Unreal Engine 5. It's going to be a simple interior. You can just follow these steps. I'm using a baked light, but if you want to see any lessons with lumen light, I would be happy to show you that. So let's get started. Okay, to start with, we're going to create a box. Just a simple one. Let's do 5 meter on 4 meter, and height might be 3 meters. And then just to create additional depths, we will do H, and then we will extrude it. So now we'll have a little bit more interesting form to work with. Okay, so now we need to detach each polygon because we will be working with Unreal. So we need to detach everything. We can detach this one as one, that one. And ceiling as well. Okay, so yeah. Okay, now we need to rename all our polygons. So we need to go to tools and then to rename objects. So this is ceiling. So I will just press ceiling, the name. And also we need to include prefix with underscore. And we can also add numbers. Rename. So we see now it's has a different name. And we're going for walls. Just select all of them and change the name here for a wall. Prefix is the same because it's static mesh. So we have the numbers here. We can rename it. And you see here all these different numbers and new names. And then we have to rename our flow. Okay, and just put rename, and here we go. Okay, so now we're gonna do next step. We need to select all, then press X, and we need to searching for UF for FBX export. Now I need to unselect those, and we need to create a special folder. Just create any folder. I'll create FBX folder. So select folder, export selected objects, and just press OK. Need to wait a bit. Done. Okay, now we need to open our launcher and go to library and press to launch Unreal. Okay, it started. Okay, now we are going to planning project. So here is a path where we'll save your project now. Don't forget to put ray tracing. And here you just can give a name to your project. Let's say interior 01 and just create it. Okay, now we're here and need to create a level. Let's call it interior. Okay, save selected. Now we go to settings, to project settings, and then maps and models, and here we need to change it to our created level. So it's this one. Okay, update. And here as well we need to find the same one. And just close it. Okay, so now we need to create a folder for our geometry, which we were creating in 3ds Max. Okay, now double enter, and here we're inside the folder. And here we will go to import to game geometry. And so here our FBX folder with all the geometry which we created in 3ds Max. Just select all of them and open. So here just check everything should be the same except materials. For materials you need to choose do not create material, and also just in case import texture, just do not click it and import all. Okay, so it's alright, just close it. Okay, now we need to Control S, just save everything and also save all, just in case. Okay, and now we need to select all the geometry, put it in viewports, and here we need to just put it all on 0, and here we need to switch to unlit just to see all our geometry. Just for simple navigation we need to press and hold right click of the mouse, and then just press W, we will go forwards, and press S, we will go back, A and D, left and right. So we're already a little bit in a game. So now we need to create sky and to create ambient light. So it just doesn't matter where the icon really located. Now we have to find a nice HDRI. The best option is just to go to Heaven HDRIs, and we can find here something suitable for us. So I think this one will be pretty good. Just check into this HDRI and just download it. And just save it. Okay, now we need to move our HDRI into Unreal, just put it here. So we see it there, and also our sky still selected. And now I will choose a specified camera map and select this one and put it here, and just go to static. So now we're ready to bake the light. For that we need to go to settings, plugins, and here just type here GPU light mass, click, and it's just okay, and press restart now. Save selected. Now we need to wait a little bit. Okay, now we can build lighting. Just close here. For building lighting, just need to go to build, and then we already have GPU light mass. So here just go to build lighting. Okay, now I'm gonna move GPU light mass settings to this part here. Okay, so now we need to switch to lit, just to see how actually is our light working with our geometry. So for navigation you need to hold your right click and also press W, A, S or D, depends on where you want to go. Okay, so we see that our lighting is going outside. It's alright, but now I'm gonna see what's happening inside. For that I'll delete one of the polygons, and we see that actually it's dark inside, and it's not the result we wanted to have. That's why I'm going to rebake the lighting. So we deleted one of the polygons. Now our lighting will go inside our geometry, and we will see how it's going to look like. And also we see that our walls is actually not visible inside, and that's because our normals is facing outside, not inside. But we can easily change it. We just need to re-import our geometry from 3ds Max, and there we can just change our normals and decide how they need to be faced. We go to 3ds Max. All our geometry is already selected, so I just need to apply normal, the modifier. It's so you can see flip normals is already on. It's what we need, and now I just need to export selected objects. Yes. Okay. Now I need to go back to Unreal. Going to content browser, need to select all our geometry here. So I'm pressing Shift, and then I can select all of them. Right click and just re-import. Okay, so now it's looking alright. We can see the surfaces inside, so it's looking fine. And in this stage we already can build lighting. So it's looking okay. We see all the walls inside. They're not transparent, they're looking fine. But the lighting we see here, it's lumen light, but we gonna have a baked light. For that we need to find post-process volume, put it here. Now we need to search for infinity, click here. Okay, and next global illumination. Okay, and then just we see the lumen, and now we need to switch it on and just put none. Here we go, and see we can have now baked light, and it's actually our window here. This is lighting is what we were looking for. Now we will go to room. So now we are inside our room, and we see that the lighting is actually not good enough. That's why we need to select all our geometry and change their light maps. So I'm just searching SM, which means static mesh, and just select all these objects. All right, and now go to details. All right, so we see here lighting and the overhiding light map rays, and we need to change it to 256. Now the resolution of our light maps should be better, and now we can rebuild our lighting. Right, let's see. Yeah, it's actually looking much better than before. I'm gonna look how it's gonna be with a better resolution. We're gonna compare the results, so I'm waiting now for bigger resolution. So now, to be honest, we see that it's not too much difference, and I think it's better to keep 256 resolution, because we was waiting for baking a little bit longer, but the result is not that great. I'm changing the resolution back to 256. We see that the baking is actually going much faster, and that's why we will keep 256 resolution light map, because result is the same. All right, now we're gonna use the ready-to-go models from Unreal Shop. I'm using Linker, which I already downloaded. So here, this is Linker. I have two models already, which I bought before. It's furniture. In furniture, you can search for any item. Here is armchairs. We can look to one of those, so you can see description here, some previews. You can check all of that and just buy it here if you want. I'll buy this model first, and then we will download it. Okay, you can see that icon will change, but double check the path. It should be the same where your project located. Just go to these three dots, check the path, select the folder. Right, and here we'll see the folder from Unreal Shop. It will be there soon. Okay, so this is like a red mark. That means we already bought those models before, and now we can download it. Now we're waiting for our geometry, which is downloading now. So we can see it in Unreal Shop. So it's two folders here with our models which we bought before. Now we're going inside the folder and just dropping our new model here. We can do the same with our second model. Just drop it here. And also this additional thing. So actually we can drop our model together just to make the distance between them right. Now we've got our two models inside the room, and I'm going to bake the whole scene just to see the result. We see that baking is going quite fast, and now we see the room is quite dark, but when we come in closer it's going better. We see more lighting because we've got outer exposure. We need to change our exposure settings. Just tapping exposure here, and then we have to switch outer exposure to manual and just change the number to 15. Our exposure is uniform everywhere. I recommend you in world setting change light mass settings. So going here, and we need to switch off compress light maps, and now our shadows and our light will be better because our light map is not compressed anymore. Also, I want to change the scale of the chair a little bit. I want to do it manually, not by 25%. Now I'm happy with the scale, and I'm going to save our changes and then to rebake our scene again. Done. Lighting became a bit better, but I still would like to improve some stuff in details. I'd like to select one of the parts of our model, so I'm selecting this one and going inside the blueprint, and here with the part with the fabric material I'm going to do it darker just to make it not that white. Also inside the model folder we have the basic material. We are applying the material to all selected objects. And by the way, we can see here that our shadows not really good. They have some artifacts, so we need to increase the quality. We need to go to GPU light mass, go to samples, and here increase the number 4 times, so now it's 2048, and now I'm going to bake again. The baking will last longer, so I just speeded up the process for the video. We see it's much lighter than before because we increased the samples number, and also because we applied white material. I'm going to post process because I'd like to compensate the exposure, so we're tapping exposure here and changing the number, so it's becoming darker. I think the number 12 actually will be better. Right, cool. We can see that our corners a bit dark and it's looking weird. So I'm gonna to fix it. For that I need to go and search for ambient occlusion, and it's exactly what we need to fix this problem. And so here we need to make the number just 0, and you can see all these problems just gone. materials of the models looking a bit dark, but we will fix it later. Now, first of all, we have to figure out what's going on with our floor and also with ceiling. So we have these weird lines because we did just a standard unwrapping, but we need to go to 3D Max again and make unwrapping properly. So here I go to flat mapping, and then I'm changing the scale of this, and this result will be right. So I'm going to do the same thing with the floor. So I'm going to mapping, flatten mapping. So for the correct unwrapping, we have to use all the canvas. So that's why I'm changing the scale. Great. Now I'm selecting those two objects, and I'm going to re-export them with the replacement. Right, those objects are exported, and now in the content browser we need to select them. I actually can just press Ctrl B, and the objects will be immediately selected. Right click on them and re-import. We see here that our shadows a bit shifted, but that's because we have new wrapping. Now we need to bake again. It's baking now. We need to wait a little bit, and then we will see our new lighting. Also, we need to wait a little bit for new light map, which is loading. By the way, the selected wall here looks dark. That means it has also some problem with unwrapping because we just did standard unwrapping. So we need to go again to 3ds Max and unwrap it. So we go to unwrap editor, and here flatten mapping, and then we're changing the scale just to fill up all the canvas. And now we need to re-export it and re-import in Unreal. Done. We just did re-import, and to see new lighting we need to back again as usual. It's alright, it's backing now. I just speeded up the process again, and we see the wall is white, so it's okay. With new unwrapping it's not black anymore. And now we need to back to our models because we changed exposure, and now our models looks a bit dark. The materials looks a bit darker than they should be, so I'm going to blueprint, and into blueprint I am selecting the parts which I want to change. So here by changing albedo I can do the material darker or lighter, so it's up to me, just whatever I want. And I'm just clicking by different parts of the model and I can change it. So once again with another model we're going inside blueprints and selecting the parts of geometry of the model and changing the materials. So I'm clicking here to this metallic material and make it a bit lighter. Also the speed of my camera is quite sensitive, so I decreased it 2 times. That was 4 and now it's 2. Done. I'm just trying to make the this material a bit more metallic, but it's okay. So I'm actually happy with the result, how the models look like. I think it's fine. I like it. Let's leave it as it is. Now I'm just closing the window with additional settings. Don't forget to save your work. Into content browser, press save all. Also, I want to load some more models. I'm going to select all the folders in Unreal just to see what the new folders will be added. On the Unreal Shop website, I will trying to find some flow. I just want to use it or use at least the material from this model. Okay, let's have a look if here is something which is suitable for us, because here is the 68 models. Okay, I want to use the parquet, so let's back to the linker. We've got Unreal open, and now I'm trying to find the parquet. I think that should be in decoration, and here we see that looks like I already bought this model and used before. The quality of the model is very good, so let's use it. And also I wanna use this backplate at the same time. I just will download it as well, so I'm buying it now. And I see the cloud here, so that means we bought the model. We can now download it so that into our project. Also, let's download the skirting as well. It might be usable for our project. Now, at the moment, at the same time, the free models are downloading. On the left-hand side in the content browser, we can see that new folders are appearing. Into Unreal Shop folder, we see that our backplate is also downloaded. I'm going here and dropping the blueprint into the scene. Alright, here we go. We see the backplate outside. Awesome. That's working, and now we need to add our parquet, which we downloaded before. I'm going to the parquet folder and I'm looking for the model of parquet, because it's a lot of textures here, but we need to find the model. Just drag and drop the model here. I'm just putting the model here by eye, and also I want to disable the snapping, because I'd like to make it smoothly moving with my flooring when I copy it. It will be just easier for me to work with geometry like that. Now I'm selecting those two objects and I'm copying them to the right spot, and here I'm just trying to move it by eye just to make it nice and without any seams, so we just see the floor as it is, and it's looking good. We can to bake now, but I have to say that because we have this new flooring now, and it's quite a big object for our room, and it's dark, so our lighting will be not the same, because the photons from this flow will affect the general picture. So let's just bake the room and we will see how it will look like. It's baking, and the more objects you have in your scene and the higher the resolution of light maps of your models you have, the longer will be the baking. I always speeding up the process, so for you guys, so you don't need to wait for that long. As I said before, the room looks darker because of the floor, because it's dark, and photons bounce less readily, and as a result the room is darker. So let's choose SkyLight and manage the lighting. I'm increasing the scale of intensity of SkyLight. We see that it's becoming lighter, but it's not enough because we see some dark areas In the left burger in a field of view, I'm going to change the lens to make it wider. In SkyLight settings, in intensity scale, I put 5 instead of 2. Let's bake again, and now I have new lighting, and it's much more better than before. And I think we can leave it, because I quite like what we have for now. I want to do some tests, and I'm selecting the parquet, and inside the blueprint I'm selecting static mesh. I'm clicking 2 times by geometry, and here I'm looking for light map, and what's gonna be if we will change it to 1024, twice more. If I save it, then in every model, if we choose static mesh, would be 1024 by default. That's because on one of the geometry I put 1024, and now it will increase our baking time, because every model of the parquet will be twice heavier for the light calculation. I speeded up the video again, so you don't need to wait for the baking. We see it coding textures, everything is going right. The textures are saving, and for the very beginning you can see this kind of artifacts, but it's just for first few seconds, and then it will go away. I don't see too much difference between 256 light map and 1024, so just go to settings again, and I will put 256 just for experiment, and then we will see. I need to rebake the scene, and then we will compare the result. Okay, let's wait for a little bit. After the calculation, we will see the result between 256 and 1024 light maps. So it's almost ready. Let's have a look. Right, our contour shadows became a bit blurrier, so we can see it especially here on the legs of the chair. I'm going back to the settings, and I'm changing light map resolution back to 512, and then rebake. Looks like the light map 512 is optimal for this situation, and our shadows better, but baking wasn't a bit too long.